Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 12 with the Boston Bruins rebuild. With the trade deadline fast approaching, we do find ourselves in second place in the Eastern Conference, obviously trailing the champions Flyers. It's the unfortunate reality of this world. We are top of our division, but unfortunately, they're at the top of theirs as well. And, I mean, just kind of look at their team, though. We'll take a quick look at their depth here. You have Michkov, McDavid, and Tippett. It doesn't, their team doesn't look as good as you'd think. Luchenko, Zagras, and Martoni, that's really good. They also somehow got Cutter Gauthier, Jack Murdaugh, and Tamuola, so not much depth after that. I think Rizzo is probably their fourth line, and then Jean Couturier is probably just there to waste cap for sure. Tracy's there, but their defense, I don't know how they got Luke Hughes. This looks like a ridiculous trade. He originally got traded for Scheifele from the Devils. Insane. I don't know why that would ever happen. And then got traded for Konecny. Now, I don't hate Konecny, but I probably wouldn't make this trade either. I understand that they need defense. But I can't imagine another team with lefties being so in demand why you would give him up. Luke Hughes contract, I mean, it's not that crazy either. $9 million's not insane. They also have Ryan Lynn, and then it starts to kind of go a little bit south here. Hamilton, Sanheim, Pionk, Spencer Gill, he's all right, I guess. Lavallee as well. So, I mean, not great, not terrible. They have Earson in net and Carson there, but I mean, ultimately they're not as good as what you think. Look at our team here. I mean, I don't want to brag, but look, 4 stars, 4.5, 5, 3.5, 3.5, 4 stars. Obviously, this guy's not playing yet. But even just look at our D. We should be able to do something. And then even our goalies, 4-star, 3-star now. So we're not doing too bad in terms of that. Jonah, he might come up next year, but I might actually force him to stay down. We'll look at the contracts real quick. But yeah, Jonah, I think Daxton, Rudolph, and Spence have to come up. So next year we're spending a whole... 11 million more than what last year, 11.5 million. That's basically these two guys. So if we need to kind of move on from both of these, we will, because it just makes more sense and it gives other players opportunities. Obviously with Bocage and Edmonds probably not re-signing for us, or we're not re-signing them, and then we have to worry about the defense the year after. So yeah, looking at our unsigned players here, one of the things that kind of throws me for a loop here is the fact that it's not organized. So, yes, it goes this way, but for whatever reason, it's not going by year. So, obviously, we could easily forget to sign Gogoan this coming summer. And even these guys, too, Muse, Smith, and Spence. We could easily forget that. I don't know why it goes June instead of anything when there's June here and then June here and then August is randomly thrown in there. But to me, it just seems very, very weird that it kind of works out that way. But back to where we were going. Let's look at the trade block. Currently, yeah, Lane Hunson's the only player that's available in the trade. And look, we could probably give everything for him and he wouldn't come to us. So I find this absolutely insane. He's clearly their best player. There's no reason why they would ever part ways with him. So it doesn't really make sense as to why he'd be on the trade block, and just because of his contract, which actually isn't that bad. 8.9 is not a terrible contract. But again, why would they put him on for no apparent reason? That's enough of that rant. We will look at some of the trades that we end up doing. We did end up trading for this player, McGregor, from Washington. We gave up Kiersey Smith, Chenier in a 7th. So, I mean, he doesn't look great, doesn't look bad either. He's doing well in the OHL though. So I do like that. Mental rating's not quite there, which probably is one of the reasons why his ability's significantly down. He's okay at faceoffs, but I have him more pegged for right wing. He's 203 pounds, 5'11", but offense looks decent. I just figured I'd take a shot. He is 20. And at this point, he's one of the only players that we could go for. But like I said, next season, we're going to end up looking at what we can trade for these players. And maybe even Lorley. Lorley's only playing, he's projected to play 53 games. He hasn't been unhealthy. But obviously with the new players coming up and the new contracts, $4 million could end up being a lot. So looking at how well our team's doing though, like I said before, we have a bunch of 3.5 players. Most of them are 3s as well, and most of them have potential to at least be a 3 as well. So not doing too bad with that. And obviously that changes it up. Buim playing 30 games. This guy could be a casualty next season. Like I said, just trying to get the best bang for it, for sure. We end up winning this one pretty handily. 3-2, we end up getting Pasternak, Hoggins, and Thompson scoring. We end up giving up 2 late to Braden Point, and ultimately that kind of sucks. This is where the injuries start to happen. Calf strain and groin strain. 2 strains right off the bat. That is insane. So it gives chance for Villeneuve to come up, which I don't mind at all. Yeah, so that was the trade that we ended up doing. Obviously, we're not going to delay. We're in a good spot right now. They should be back for playoffs. Now I'll look at the trade block once again to see if there's anything that kind of pops up. As you can see, Pasternak's top 5 in terms of goals and top 2 in terms of points. Obviously, can't compete with McDavid. It's just too difficult. We do face off against Pittsburgh, who I have looked at, and their team looks like they're going to be good for years to come. They haven't signed some of these players, which I find kind of crazy. They might be doing a similar approach to what we're doing. Quinn Hughes' suspension is now over somehow with the Avalanche. Villeneuve still not getting the nod there. That kind of sucks. But we'll look at Pittsburgh here. Just look at their depth though. They have Eli McCamey, who looks pretty good, 3 stars. And he looks like he's going to be very good. How did they get him? They got him with the 8th overall pick. Then you end up having Ethan Belchett, who's playing the AHL right now. He's a 3-star, 4.5 potential, which looks good as well. And then even Colin Fitzgerald looks pretty good. I remember seeing it a little bit better than what it was. Sidney Crosby's obviously towards the end. Obviously they got Nyes as well. It makes a lot of sense. Zetterlund, yeah, they're not very good right now. They also still have Rutger McGroarty, who never ended up really playing. That is kind of insane. Mac Holloway also never played really. Riker Evans, so yeah, their team actually doesn't look as good. I thought I saw a couple more 4 stars there. Rangers look like they should be okay. New Jersey looks like they're going to be okay. Minnesota Wild. They have I wanted to get Ingolf Funke, but they're not going to give up anything for him. Yeah, Sawatsky looks like he's going to be good as well. Red Wings look like they're going to be just mediocre. Like I see a lot of 3.5 potential there. Columbus as well. They have a couple. Colorado looks like they're going to be terrible. Frolov looked good as well, but I don't think he's at that ability. Looks like goalies start to develop a little bit later in this game. So we're not too concerned with the 1-star ratings here because they end up adjusting probably when they're 20, 22, unless there's a really good player. So we end up beating Pittsburgh here. 4-1 Rubric, McKenna, Boumedienne, and Hoggins end up getting on the score sheet there. That's their team. Buim doing good defensively. Offensive rating's terrible. So I think that's just what's affecting his grade. So maybe he's not actually as bad as what I would have imagined. Pasternak, Boumedienne doing amazing in all three categories. Probably the top. Not bad. McKenna not doing as good defensively. Rubric doing good overall and defensively. So I do like that. It does pump us up to 91 points this season. And Canadians are fast approaching there. Still a handful of games. Finally, this is starting to fix. And finally, we have our harmony back. That just took forever. My God. Okay, so now there's a little bit more activity here, but still nothing. Like, I don't see anyone making these trades here. We can go current ability, but still, there's nothing really that's jumping up. Cole Sillinger is probably the better player, in my opinion, that's available, other than Lane Hudson. But just for argument's sake, let's try and make an offer here. They're not going to do anything. We're going to... I mean, he is a very good defender. Okay, so that piques their interest. I'm okay with giving up our second, if that's what gets us started. Huh. Maybe another pick later? Question mark? I'll give up another second. Nothing's budging. I mean, in reality, why would I give up Dupont? I can give up rights. I'm okay with doing that. Maybe not Clear. Maybe Smith. Does open up with Hoggins. That did at least pique some interest. I don't want to give up Karlofty. Or Carlotti. He looks like he's going to be really good. Sissick as well. Alright, I think I have to give up something. Maybe Pulkkinen. Pulkkinen was the thing that was holding it together. Okay, let's add another first rounder. Or let's add a first rounder. And let's take out something else to kind of see where they're at. See, I don't think... I could give up another first round pick, and I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, this would be probably the trade of the century. If we can do this. Does make it difficult for our depth. Verge I could give up. I can't increase it a little bit. I don't have any more picks. Yeah, I don't know what they would really want. Yeah, they want one of those. I can't give that to them. If I can somehow get a second round pick anywhere, which I don't have. Yeah, they don't want that. Apparently that third round pick is insulting. Alright, William Moore I could. It feels like you have to give up at least a 4-star. Or potential. Oh my God. So we could, like I said, we could. Who do we have to give up though? Because obviously it's not going to be Dupont. It's not going to be Hoggins. Can we give up Byam? No, he won't go. Villeneuve could be it. I mean, essentially, this is what happened. Poitras could be also a candidate. Would they like that better? Alright. Poitras. This is probably the deal. I gotta do it. I have to do that. That kind of sucks. That does hurt a little bit. but he ends up being the best player on our team, probably, or potentially. My God. It does kind of make it a little bit of a balance, too. I should have made them eat some of the contract. 8 million does make someone like McAvoy possibly someone that we should move on from. But you have Lane Hudson and Boumedienne, and then you have Villeneuve and them trying to fill that up. The monster trade. I don't know if I could be happier than that. That kind of fixes our initial cap issue. You know his next contract's going to be insane. This could have just made us like probably one of the favorites to win this year. That's insane. To our rivals too. That's probably why we had to pay so much for it. I don't think I want to do anything else unless we get a center. See, that's where it sucks. If you end up having Jonah play this season, it would have been pretty good. But yeah, dear God, that was a crazy trade. So lines-wise, yeah, Hudson and McAvoy, Villeneuve, Drysdale, Smith, and Byam for now. I mean, does this just 7-1 loss? And immediately we suck. Villeneuve with the only goal there. That hurts. That hurts. I thought we were going to the promised land. Now Villeneuve's hurt too. Strength them. That is insane. We end up getting an amazing player, and then we end up losing 7-1 against Vancouver, and Vancouver is the worst team in the Pacific. Oh my God, we might have just screwed ourselves this year. That could have... I mean, dear God, that could have just hurt us hard. Dawson Mercer for a first. Josh Norris for a first. We just don't like having first either. No team likes first. They like trading them. Kuzmenko. Carter Murphy. Yeah, I think once our team is fully healthy, we should be good. But still, that was eye-opening, that loss. I'm just hoping that it affects Canadians a little bit more. I mean, Protras was doing well, but I think he just kind of opened it up for everyone else to kind of develop as well. It's difficult decision, I will say that. But the fact that it was kind of there, I just had to do it. Now we win. There we go. Musty ends up scoring Pasternak and Rubric there. But yeah, no, that's I don't see how we don't make that deal. Granted, I don't think we're going to be terrible either, so those first round picks don't even really matter that much. Like, you see the team's already pretty much finalized. It's just maybe 1 or 2 years out for being like fully dominant, but then Pasternak might be gone as well. And we're doing well at picking a little bit later in the draft as well. Third round picks are doing pretty good for us. Kane McGregor is doing good too, apparently. Yeah, we'll sharp out. 6-2. See? Starting to... Lane Hudson with the assist there. That's good. That makes everything a little bit better. Hoggins there scores Musty, McKenna, and Kako. And then McKenna and Hoggins. Ultimately, our second line wasn't doing that well anyways. I think he was stuck on the second line. Yeah, our second line wasn't doing that well in terms of points. But they could have been what ended up shoring it up defensively. And then Lindbaum's going to get the opportunity here. Yeah, I think between those two, it's going to be great. I think Boumedienne being paired up here, oh, that changes a little bit. Why is McQueen there? I don't like that at all. McQueen should not be center. Cole Chandler's back up. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how he does. I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't like him at center, but that could just be for the back-to-back. We do lose this one, but it's in a shootout. Huggins, McKenna end up scoring the first. Rubric ends up getting the third one and then ties it up. And, I mean, Pasternak and Marner score, and then nobody scores until Samuel Girard, which I would have not pegged as the guy that would have won. Doesn't look like Montreal's doing that great either, so maybe we won this trade more than what we thought, just because it doesn't look like Poitras is able to carry them. Granted, they just did win again. We're going to have to monitor this. We're going to have to see how well Poitras does without us. And I could be saying his name absolutely wrong. I'm really hoping I'm saying it correctly. But there's only probably around 10 games left, or a little bit more than 10 games left. Do face off against Vancouver and Chicago. One of them at the top, one of them at the bottom. But we remember what happened last time. We end up underestimating Vancouver. We are home this time. And we do win 2-0, thank God. Bocage and Boumedienne end up scoring. Musty and McQueen on the score sheet there as well. Does bump us up to 46 wins. I can't remember what the most that we end up having at is, so we'll have to look. Pasternak now bumping down, so we're not doing as great offensively. He is top 3 in points. McDavid, Bedard, Pasternak, that is good company to be in. And then obviously Michkov's there as well. Cole Caulfield's there. And for whatever reason, I don't know why they don't like to rank, what's his name? Yeah, Logan Cooley as high. They only have him at 4 stars, 4.5 potential. So Lane Hudson with 5 games, 3 points so far. And let's see what Poitras is doing. 4 points in 7 games. And now their weakness is lefty. That is pretty funny. Okay, so Moore's now on the second line. Okay, that's fine. I like that a lot better. Hoggins and then Moore. But like I said, we were flush with centers. McAvoy with a goal there. Pasternak there as well. Musty, Pasternak, and Hoggins. That's what I like to see. It does pump us up to 100 points. I think that's the first time we've hit triple digits. So all is looking up so far. We'll look at, that's what I was looking at before. 2 more wins. Oh no, we did get 106 last year. So 2 more wins and we end up beating our most that we end up having. Obviously, I think when we said that last time, we end up going on a cold streak. We lose 3-1. McQueen with the only goal there. And I ignore all these always. We do have back-to-back against New Jersey. And I mean, Washington wasn't that good, so it seems like a very odd loss there. Boumedienne going to sit this one out. And then Lindbaum's going to get the nod. Lindbaum hasn't been progressing the way that I've wanted him to. 4-3 in regulation, so no points there. Pasternak and Moore and Voronkov. He hasn't done as well as what I'd hope. I feel as though we have that always with our backups, though. So we'll kind of have to more so monitor that moving into next season. Like I said, we kind of just jump-started with our contracts, though. The only thing that makes this trade different than, obviously, the McDavid acquisition is the fact that we're obviously ready to compete. And we actually gave up something for it. 3-1 loss. Dear God. Is that back-to-back losses? McAvoy with the only goal there. And we are fighting tooth and nail against the Canadians. Do face off against Florida, who look like they're fighting maybe for a division spot as opposed to a wild card spot. Looks like they are already clinching, though. Dupont looks like he's back soon. That's good. Same thing with Boumedienne. And it does look like our defense is going to be pretty good soon. Let's just hope that we can get wins now. We do win 3-1 or 3-0. Thompson Smith gets his second, and then Pasternak with his 39th goal. Voronkov apparently converting to center. He can't do how. Why would we put him on center? His faceoffs aren't that good. It does pump us up to 102 points, and like I said, I think we need 49 wins or 50 wins to end up getting the most. Edmonds is now back, so congratulations to us. And then day to day and day to day. So hopefully that day comes soon. Montreal still stuck on the same amount of points there. And we do face back-to-back games against Columbus. Not sure where Columbus is. We do win 4-3. That made it a bit more difficult than what it had to. In regulation as well. They have 35 wins, so they're probably fighting for that other playoff spot. Musty and Edmonds, who are down in the first pretty bad. Smith ends up tying it up, and then Voronkov with the game winner there with his 13th. Does bump us up to 49 wins. So we are tied with what we did last year. Why? Oh, different Hudson. Oh my god. I was like, why is Hudson suspended? So back-to-back here, and we win the second one as well. Hoggins ends up getting his 30th. Smith, Pasternak with his 40th. And McKenna with his 30th. Seems like everything's kind of opening up. We do hit 50 wins, so that is something to be proud of. Anytime you end up hitting 50 wins, it's great. McDavid with 54 goals. Tell me this is not insane. It's so annoying, too. Every time that I see his name pop up. They're definitely our rivals of this save. We do lose 6-2. Like the unofficial rivals. We do go up early, but then we end up giving it up. Tavares is still playing. He's probably close to the end. 1 year left. And then he's a free agent. And then Byam ends up scoring as well. We now continue on the road to Buffalo, but we have an extra day in between. And this game could mean a lot. So we have to beat Montreal and Buffalo. Who does the schedule for this? Because this is a bit rough to end the season. It's not like you're playing off against easy teams. So we went 2-1. That one's going to matter. They get a point, though. That's very important to note. Edmonds and Nathan Quinn there end up scoring. And then ultimately, Lucas Edmonds is the one. Dear God, Lucas Edmonds, hidden potential there for sure. Carries us through the win. Does get us 51 wins here. Does separate us. 4 points is a lot. There's still a couple of games left. But they have to win 4 more points than what we can manage to get. If we win here, should be pretty good. 4-3 win. In regulation, Hoggins with 2. And then Rubrick, Lane Hudson scoring the deciding one. Fantastic. Let's see. Lane Hudson got an assist as well. Yeah, I don't see our boy. He couldn't score against us. So 52 wins here. Does put us at the top. I think Predators is the only one that's, wow, 54 is pretty insane too. We have New Jersey and then Tampa. And Voronkov is now hurt. Only temporarily, though. New Jersey, come on. Let's see what we got here. 5-1 loss. Dear God, you can't win them all. William Moore with the only goal there. Pasternak is now hurt. How long? If it's more than a month, I'm going to be pissed. 2-3 weeks. Okay. That is still annoying. It's right at the end, too. I think we only have one more game left. It could be 3. Not an April Fool's joke either. That is so annoying. But does give McQueen a chance here. We do lose 5-3. McAvoy, Kakko, and Chandler end up scoring early. But ultimately, we just let the game Get away from us. Boomin's Yen's now hurt too. You have got to be kidding me here. Oh my god, he's out for like another season too, isn't he? Oh my god. That's annoying. I mean, we do clinch first for sure. But we're now out without two of our top, let's say top 5 players. That's very annoying. How would you... No, he wouldn't be able to play anyways. Why would that even be a question? Oh my god, that sucks so much. Alright, yeah, so there's 2 more games left. Okay. Just double checking. Because Detroit's not in a playoff spot. They do still have our first round, I think. That hurt us a lot. We just can't get a win towards the playoffs. That's just how it works. You just get the injuries right before the playoffs. Your best players. And there's nothing you do. Yeah, we have everyone just semi-hurt. Oh my god. And of course you can't force them to play through it. We do win this one 4-1. McKenna, Hoggins, Thompson with 2. And then Tampa here. Tampa looks like they're fighting for that last spot. So we're probably going to end up facing Tampa or Florida. Probably, it looks like Florida. Unless we end up losing this one. And Panthers lose too. Alright, let's see. 3-2. We end up winning, so it looks like we're playing the Panthers. Moore ends up scoring, and then Thompson as well. And then Roger McQueen ends up getting a goal. So same with Rubric in the shootouts. But there's no shootouts in the playoffs. Flyers somehow did not end up finishing at the top. I think that is the most shocking part of it. Rubric close to returning. I like that. But it's the Pasternak thing. Hopefully he's back. Hopefully he's back soon. Okay, so Pasternak nominated for the Hart. That is good to see. Finally getting recognition. Still 1 to 2 weeks. So hopefully we can manage to win the first round. Lane Hudson for the Norris. Nominated for executive. That's good. Oh yeah, it does show the Calder. Furcus looked good. The Ripken trade was messed up though. They end up trading to the Hurricanes for Svechnikov, which I find kind of crazy. They just traded back for the guy. And then yeah, we're Jack Adams as well. How does a player get put on waivers right before the playoffs? Is what I want to know. So we're going to try and sign someone. We're going to try and sign one of maybe our wingers from the NCAA. I think it lets you. I can't remember if it does or not. Yeah, it used to let us do that. Dear God, the 1 to 2 weeks thing, it's going to bother me. If we get swept again, I'm going to be furious. So we did play them a handful of times this year. 3-2 win, 5-3 loss, 3-2 win, 5-2 loss, 8-1 loss. And that is it. So ultimately does not look that good for us. Let's just hope that we can manage to start this off right. Game 1, 4-2 win. Good. Thompson, Hoggins, and McKenna score early. We end up giving up a couple late. Kako gets his first the postseason there. And ultimately we win 4-2. That's what I like to see. I didn't look at all the other teams that are playing as well to make any kind of bold predictions. But I think Chicago, Philly, just the culprits. Yeah, Philly's going to win that one for sure. Carolina's going to win that one. I'm hoping we do. And I don't really care between the two of them. San Jose, it's going to beat Edmonton there. Kind of shocking. Colorado against Seattle. I think Seattle's a little bit better. Chicago should win that one. Nashville, if they lose, that will be insane. Game 2 here. We win 3-1. That's what I like to see. McKenna early with Hoggins and Dupont late, and no goals in the second. That's what we like to see. Philly still leading. Tied, though. I would be happy with the Philly loss. There's no way we can let them win three years in a row. Absolutely no way. That would piss me off way too much. 4-2 win. Managed to keep it going. Hudson and Edmonds early. We end up giving up one by point. And then Dupont scores. And then McKenna gets the dagger at the end. 3-0 lead. Carolina leading 3-0. Utah leading 2-1. And Colorado looking like they're going to beat them as well. Edmonton up 2-1 as well. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, Chicago I thought would make light work there. 3-0 up, 2-1 up. So yeah, this could be for all the marbles here. We end up losing, so we don't get the sweep. William Moore scores and McKenna scores. Antonio Strange is, oh my god, that guy. He looks better than what he is. I was high on that guy when he was drafted, but not much you can do. Drysdale, elbow contusion for 1 to 2 weeks. That's where the annoying part starts. All the injuries in the postseason. He can probably play through it, but he's not going to because that's just how the game goes. Yeah, he's probably not going to play at all. And we win 8-1. Hoggins ends up scoring his third of the postseason. McKenna with 5. That's crazy. Voronkov gets his first. Rubric gets his first. Hoggins with 4. Voronkov with his second. And then McQueen as well. Voronkov getting both of this game. So it does push us through. I'm just hoping that we end up getting our players back. Buffalo leads 3-2. Nashville turned it around. It's now tied, though, so it's for all the marbles here. It's tied between Philly and Devils. Oh, my God. It's going to go to Game 7. Philly's going to win. Philly wins. Yep. I knew it. So we face off against Buffalo now. So Buffalo managed to make light work of them. I hope Carolina now wins. I just don't want them to win 3 times. Obviously, I want to be the team that wins 2. So face them 4 times. 2-1 win, 3-1 loss, 5-0 loss, and 2-0 win. So 500 basically between the two of us. Let's just hope that we can get our player back and win this. Game 1, 4-3 win. That's what I like to see in regulation too, so that should help. Pasternak's back. I didn't see the memo there. That's crazy. 5th goal for Hoggins. Pasternak gets his first. Hudson gets his second, and then Pasternak with the game winner. We definitely missed him. He ends up getting the one that puts us through. Rubric now injured. You can't write that stuff. Dear God. Mammoth ended up being the team that ended up winning as well, so didn't even look at it. Yeah, Chicago made it through. Nashville, the top seed. They probably had the President's Trophy, and they end up losing. And then 2-4. So that's crazy as well. Yeah, Philly is tied with Carolina, and then we're up 1-0. I mean, I'm just hoping that our depth is good enough. Game 2 here. We win 5-2. Terrence Smith, Roger McQueen scores 2. Pasternak and then Kakko end up scoring there as well. So 2-0 lead. That's how we want to start this. We want to go up 3-0 like we did before. Like I said, we do have depth. But it would be a lot better if we had... A lot better if we end up having the players to be able to push this through. Carolina up 2-1. I'm just hoping they go up 3-1 as well. Drysdale looks like he's coming back. Boumediene still with that Oh, dear God. McKenna improving as well. Musty looking pretty good. I like Musty. I want to keep him for as long as we can. But we might not be able to. Because he might ask for a lot of money. Game 3, we end up losing. And second OT, that sucks. Pasternak with a goal, McQueen and Hoggins. And then we let them get back into it and then ultimately win. Jordan Dumays ends up scoring. So 2-1 lead here. Could have been 3-1, guys. 2-1 for Carolina as well still. Come on, we want to see something. Hall of Fame nominees, obviously. Surprised Lane Hudson's not on there. Alright, so now you guys are going to see who I actually like out of these players. I like Eric Jardin, but I don't think he ever ended up winning anything. Did he? Probably saying stupid things. He probably did win something. Because he was with Philly and Montreal, yeah. So he probably won when he was with Montreal. I don't think he won when he was with Philly. (3-1) lead. Carolina ends up pushing through. Hopefully they can manage to get the win here. That'd be fantastic for us. Okay, game 3. Can we pull ahead? And we do. 2-1. Thank God. Give up the early goal. Hoggins ends up scoring his 7th, and then Pasternak with his 5th. So we love to see him back. Oh my God. Another injury. Colorado ends up winning 4-0 though. Carolina 3-2. My God, don't let them back into this, please. Rubik and Musty now hurt. Game 5. Can we win? We do. 5-3. Rubrik scores. Hagen scores. Voronkov scores. Bocage scores. And Bocage scores again. Zach Benson's still with them. Pretty good contract, to be honest. Does push us through. I think this is the furthest we've been. Tied. Oh my God, it's 3-3. Carolina, you guys suck. Please do something. Utah ends up winning. Carolina wins. Thank God it's not going to be a three-peat. I mean, Carolina's probably the harder team. Possibly. But still, I do not want to play them. Carolina, so we played them 3 times. Won 1, lost 1, and won the other. So Rob Ringdemore is going to face off against us. 1 to 2 months. So Roger McQueen's out. That sucks. Boumedien's still out. Rubrik's day-to-day, and Musty's day-to-day. Dear God, what are we going to do here? Just hoping we have the depth, and hoping they have the injuries too. Game 1, we end up playing away from home, though. So if we can get the early lead in this series, it should be good. 4-1 win there. What I'd like to see, more Edmonds, Voronkov, and Hoggins end up scoring there. 4-1. We end up getting the lead here. And Colorado gets the lead. Dear God. Colorado looks like they're on fire. Still with injuries. Game 2. 6-2 win there. Hoggins with his 10th of the postseason. Dear God. Musty with 2nd. Pasternak with 7 and 8, even though he hasn't played a lot of it. Bocage with 3. Very respectable. 2-0 series lead, and we now head home. Tied up between Utah and Avalanche. I'm just hoping that the West is not as good. Because the East looked like it had, other than Nashville, looked like the East had a lot of the points. Game 3. 3-2. What? Second overtime, Bocage ends up scoring early. Drysdale scores late. Ultimately not good enough. Hurdle's the one that ends up hurting us the most. He's not really that good. Okay. 54 grade is the one that ends up scoring the 2 goals against us. Give me a break. We're still at home here. We can get the series lead here and then win on the road. That's what I want. Rubrik looks like he's ahead of schedule. I'm hoping that means that he is back. He is not. He is not. Damn it. Okay. What, game 4 now. Can we manage to win at home at least? So the away teams won. Both times we lost in overtime again. William Moore scores. Hagen scores his 11th. And then Kako with his third. Panarin's, they have Panarin too. Dear God. Smith now hurt. Fantastic, guys. I mean, there has to be some form of regulation here. There has to be some form of regulation of how many injuries you can possibly get in the postseason. This is insane. We just had another one of our players fall. And series is tied. I feel as though anytime they have like a big injury, you usually lose. Utah's winning 3-0. Rubric better be back. He looks like he's at 70%. Dear God, we now face off against in Carolina. Oh, let's just hope that we can get the win here. Game 5. And we do 2-1. The away team's the only team that's winning. Pasternak with his 9th, and then McAvoy with his 1st. Wow, way to wait now until you end up scoring. Utah is going to be in the finals here. And we're just hoping that we can meet them there. Battered and bruised. Can we win Game 6? I don't want to go to Game 7. I do not want to. Just make it healthy. Let's go through Game 6. And we managed to win. Thank God. McKenna scores his 6th. Voronkov with his 5th. That's impressive. Musty with his 3rd. Hoggins with his 12th. And Pasternak with his 10th and 11th. Thompson with his 2nd. And then Rubric with his 3rd. Dear God. 4-2. Win a playoff series against a team that finished ahead of you. So finally we end up getting some form of recognition there. I will take that all day. Face off against Utah. I think I skipped through the matchup thing. So we'll just end up having to do it the old-fashioned way. How we played them. We played them twice this year. We have lost one and won one. Difference between 3, so it's basically 0. We did get shut out the other one, though. So game 1 at home. We do have home ice advantage. We lose 2-1. Can we not win at home? There's no way that Boston doesn't win at home. McKenna with the only goal there. Nothing worth noting. 2-1 loss. We end up scoring at the end, so hopefully that turns things around. I just want to win the next 3, guys. Just do it. Just win the next 3. Game 2. Oh my God. We're going to get swept. William Warren, Late Hudson ends up scoring, and that is all she wrote. No one's scoring in this. I'm not gonna play these games here. 2-0. How are they causing this much trouble? We now go back to Utah. Come on, guys. Game 3. We win 5-2. So we're still in this. We waited till the 3rd to score. We were down 2-0. We score all 5 goals in the 3rd. Bocage, Musty, Villeneuve, McKenna, and Musty. I don't like this one bit. My nerves are shaking for sure. Can we manage to tie it up here? Game 4. Oh my God, okay. So we only scored 2 goals here, Dupont and Kako. This was supposed to be our year, guys. I thought with the Lane Hudson we had it. McQueen looks like he's supposed to be returning, I guess. Game 5 for all the marbles here for us. At home. 4-1 loss. Dear God. Hoggins was the only one that scored. So before we end up jumping to anything, let's see how well we did in the regular season and in the playoffs. Pasternak with 93 in the regular season. That's probably his best with us. Hoggins with 69. And then Hudson with 55, 10 with us as well. So 65 total. McKenna with 57, so a bit of a drop. And then Rubric with 42, so a bit of a drop as well. Dupont with 42, so one more. And then Musty did a little bit better. Voronkov did a little bit worse. And 31. Nothing to really write home about. Let's look at Let's look at the playoff stats here. I mean, Hoggins had 28 points in 21 games. Not much you can really ask for better other than the finals. Pasternak with 19 and 16. McKenna with 18. McAvoy even with 15. Dupont with 14. And Bocage, even Bocage got 12. Rubric only with 12 in 21 games. That is not what you'd expect. And then Musty with 11 in 21. Let's see how our goalies did. Our goalie, 13, 4, and 4. 913 same percentage. You can't ask for anything better than that. Regular season 909 and 908. So Lindbaum just a little bit better. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it done. And Utah are the winners. This is increasingly frustrating. Like I said, they need to do a cap on the injuries. There's no way that an automizer would do that. Just looking at our team, I'll point out our injury list at the moment. Yeah. Right, Boumedienne, McQueen out. Yeah, not much you can do. Pasternak was out for the first one, and we had a bunch of injuries as well. So I'm tired of that kind of stuff. They need to fix it. They can't have it so that your best players get injured at the same time every single season. They need to do something and fix that. You need to be able to get them to push through some of it. But anyways, next season's a new season. Hopefully we can manage to build on this and not do a little bit better and at least win in the finals. But hopefully we're there next season. Hopefully you guys like this. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.